Coming up on this edition of Out of the Blue from Middle Tennessee State University, we meet the graduate student with MTSU's School of Music in the national spotlight for her winning streak on the iconic game show Jeopardy! We feature our next story from Middle Tennessee News, highlighting the animation program in our Department of Media Arts. And we talk to the student reporter who produced it. And we introduce you to MTSU's Digital Agriculture Center, which is putting data science and high-tech tools in the hands of area farmers. I'm Andrew Oppmann, and this is Out of the Blue. Welcome to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Oppmann. MTSU adult learner Christine Welchel was in the national spotlight recently for her 4-game winning streak on the iconic TV show Jeopardy! A graduate student in our School of Music, Christine became both a Jeopardy! Champion and a role model for breast cancer patients and survivors when she decided to remove her wig to normalize what cancer recovery looks like. Christine, welcome to Out of the Blue.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
It's not your first time on television. I guess we're going to talk about that, right?
Yes.
Obviously, you made national attention, national news, appearing on Jeopardy! Let's talk about that opportunity. How did it first present itself to you? And I guess really start with your interest in trivia and all things considered part of the Jeopardy! Lore.
About 8 years ago, for some reason, I started watching Jeopardy! I had watched it as a kid and then sort of forgot about it and then started watching it again. And as I was watching, I started thinking, I think I could do this. So I took the Jeopardy! Test, and they have an online test. And from there, you might or might not get invited to an audition. And I went through the cycle twice of getting invited to an audition and getting in the contestant pool and sort of waiting to see if the call came, and it didn't come those first two times. When I tried for the 4th time in 2021, it was right after my cancer diagnosis, and I didn't really want to let that stop me. I wanted to keep moving forward with that Jeopardy! Dream that I had at that point.
So you're on the show, and you've been selected. You're on the set, and you know your first episode is about to be filmed. That had to be a remarkable sense of, hey, listen, I finally got to this point. I finally passed all the hurdles. And in the background, you've got your cancer diagnosis too. How is that all kind of factoring into that moment in your head?
By the time it happened in December, I had already been through my surgery. I had been through chemo. I'd finished that. I had had my second reconstruction surgery. So I was kind of ready to put that behind me as much as anyone ever can after having cancer. The big news that had happened just 2 weeks before I went out to tape Jeopardy! Was getting accepted into the graduate program here. And that was so big that it almost overshadowed Jeopardy! A little bit.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, we like to hear that at MTSU. This is good.
It was very exciting. I can remember I was at my kids' school waiting for them to come out to the car at the end of the school day, and I opened my email and saw the email from Dr. Morgan, who's the graduate director of the School of Music, giving me my acceptance to start the program in January. Getting the music degree has been the lifelong dream, much longer than the Jeopardy! Dream.
And I definitely want to talk about that because this is an opportunity to really brag on Professor Morgan and the School of Music. 4-game stint on Jeopardy!, $75,000 in the win column. What were the biggest takeaways that you got from that whole process?
I have to say there is a lot of luck involved. And because I know a lot of people who, if we were to sit and play a bar trivia game together, they would be the ones answering all the questions. And I would be kind of sitting back hoping that there was something in one of my wheelhouse subjects I might be able to contribute to. But some of those people, they didn't get the Jeopardy! Call, or they got the call and ran up against one of the greats and they didn't get to have that winning experience. So there was very much that sense of, wow, I can't believe this is happening to me. It was that first game was, one of the biggest moments of my life. I made it a little harder than it had to be with, making the wrong wager, leading it to a tiebreaker.
What great television, though.
It was. Someone said, "Oh, I just thought you did that on purpose to make it more exciting." I said, "Oh no,
No.
no." I, in that moment when they did that tiebreaker question, and the second that the question went up, I knew the answer, and I knew that my opponent would know the answer as well, and so I just knew this had to be the fastest thumb twitch of my life. At the lectern, they have the little lights that go up, little red lights, so that you know that it was you that buzzed in. When I saw those red lights light up, I knew this was it.
This is it.
And so that was the best moment, knowing that, okay, whatever happens from here on out, I'm a Jeopardy champion, and that is never going away for the rest of my life.
And after that initial first game, and now you're into the series, you made a very impactful decision about how you wanted to talk about being a cancer survivor.
Yes. After the third game, I actually went back home because that's because the tape day ended. And I had a few weeks to think about it. During that time, I had transitioned to wearing my natural hair. And so I decided it was not really authentic to go back on TV and put this wig on that I haven't worn in a few weeks. It didn't feel like as big a deal as it ended up being. In the moment, it was just, this is who I am and what I look like now. I was really surprised to see the impact that it had, because I didn't realize it in the moment, how it was going to be.
A very powerful statement, and a very moving one as well as a viewer to see and hear you talk about that. So let's talk about the other exciting moment in your life. Talk about your decision to come to graduate school.
Yes. Well, again, this was probably the biggest mistake of my life, was not doing my music degrees back when I was younger, in traditional college age. When you're in adulthood and you become a parent and you have jobs, you feel like you have to put all these other things first. And having been through cancer, it sort of brings things into focus, and you think, I want to do things so that I'm not going to regret things. I am very thankful to have the opportunity, a place to come here, a really good school of music. The faculty is wonderful. Right now I have Dr. Morgan for music history, Dr. Clark for piano, Dr. Coe for theory. I couldn't ask for better teachers. And so I feel like I'm getting this opportunity to correct what I didn't do 20 years ago. And so I'm really excited about it.
Christine, we're proud of all of our adult learners, proud of our School of Music. Your journey back to higher education, to MTSU, is really an inspiration. The Jeopardy thing's okay too, but we're really proud of the School of Music thing.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
Glad to be here.
And we'll be right back.
The Charlie and Hazel Daniels Veterans and Military Family Center, located at Middle Tennessee State University, is the largest and most comprehensive on an academic campus in the nation. We lost our patriot Charlie on 6 July 2020. The creation of the Generals Fund was his last public event in support of our military.
So many men and women that have served, that expected to be able to have their tuition or certain assistance being given to them, and that money evaporated. With the establishment of the General Fund is to make sure that all those men and women can get through MTSU and pursue what they thought they could do when they came on back.
We're extremely proud that the Predators have identified the need to help make this fund one of the best at our university for our veterans.
It's very important just for me personally that they offered this fund, and I feel like there are a lot of students on campus like me whose benefits run out and they aren't aware of that. To be the first recipient of the Generals Fund is truly an honor. I'm the person that if I'm the spokesperson or the face of something, I want to do it to my best ability, and just to help share this experience with other students just like me who are military dependents on MTSU's campus that can receive help from the Daniels Center, because everything here in this center is just here to help us. What the Generals Fund means to me, it's a help when I'm falling. So if I'm struggling or anything, I know I can come to the Daniels Center and they have me, they have a help for me, they have a way to figure things out.
Join us, contribute to the continuation of Charlie's legendary support of our military.
I am True Blue.
As a member of this diverse community,
I am a valuable contributor
to its progress and success.
I am engaged in the life of this community.
I'm a recipient
and a giver.
I am a listener and a speaker.
I am honest in word and deed.
I'm committed to reason, not violence.
I am a learner. Now
and forever.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
True Blue.
Do you want more from your college experience? At Middle Tennessee State University, that's exactly what you get. More majors, more opportunities, more guaranteed scholarships. Up to $20,000 over 4 years. MTSU, Tennessee's University of Opportunities.
Welcome back to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman. Freshman Kaylee Shores visits us with another story from our partnership with Middle Tennessee News, the student-run television team in the School of Journalism and Strategic Media. She's also an editor for Sidelines and proof that you can make a difference on this campus starting on day one. Kaylee, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here.
Not our first time we've seen each other.
It is definitely not.
You were in my journalism class, media writing.
That's right, last semester.
A freshman, you were a first semester freshman in my class.
That is correct.
And then you just immediately said, you know what, I'm going to get involved in student media. And now you're assistant news editor of Sidelines, the campus news source. You are working with Middle Tennessee News.
Yep.
And all sorts of other things.
That's right, yeah. As soon as I got here, the first thing I did, I heard about Sidelines. Some people from my hometown had worked in Sidelines, and one of my cousin's good friends was the editor-in-chief a while back, and so I heard all about it from her, and she told me, as soon as you get there, that's what you need to get involved in. So I immediately talked to Mr. Elligood, and I got started.
And here you are.
Here I am.
So right after that class ended, you almost immediately got a gig as a contributing writer for USA Today Network Tennessee. Yes, got an assignment in the Tennessean and the Daily News Journal. What was that like? What was it about?
Well, it was sort of because of you, because you introduced me to Gary Estwick.
Well, okay, I'll take that small bit of credit.
So you can have a little bit of credit there.
That's all I'll take, though.
Yeah, so I got to know him, and then he came to Leon Alligood with an assignment that he needed somebody to be on, and Alligood reached out to me and got us connected, and so I got to interview D.L. Hughley, who was on the original Kings of Comedy. He came on campus and gave a talk. He was the keynote speaker of the first Black History Month event on campus. That was my first big interview that I'd ever done with anybody.
No prep, you had to just basically go into it, right?
Oh yeah, I found out about it less than 3 hours before. It was a crazy day. I cleared my schedule the second I heard that I was doing it, and we just ran with it.
You know, we preach this in the journalism classes, but I really want you to talk a little bit about the reality of this. Get involved, put yourself out there, volunteer, sign up for student media. Why is that important?
Well, a lot of that, the industry is getting involved, and the more you do, the more future employers have to look at. So the more you get involved, the more you talk to people, the more connections you make, the more experience you have, and in that case it makes it easier to get internships in the future if you've got stuff under your belt. Like, the earlier you can get involved, the better.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about this piece that we're about to see that you did for Middle Tennessee News. What's it all about?
All right, so there is a professor on campus, Rodrigo Gomez, who did a very long, extended project over COVID where a handful of students that he hand-selected made this VR film about wonder and looking at the world with childlike wonder. So we wanted to sort of do a feature on him and his work and where it came from. His inspiration was his childhood in Colombia, where he grew up, and so we just kind of wanted to do a little spotlight on the work that our college is doing.
Okay, Kaylee, let's go to her report from Middle Tennessee News.
Yes, there he is.
Welcome to the MTSU Animation Lab.
where faculty and students developed an award-winning virtual reality short film.
Like several trials, and they were going back and forth.
Assistant Professor Rodrigo Gomez and team started work on the project in late spring 2019.
We went during the summer to work all the sketching and then the modeling and the texturing and the building of all the 3D objects.
Professor Gomez invited top students in the animation and recording industry programs to work on the film.
And then I just invited, the students that I thought, were good to participate, just as an invitation to work on it all over the summer.
Gomez had a particular theme in mind when creating the film.
We want them to wonder, what is this? And have a little surprise every time they go to the different sections of the story.
Oh. Gomez drew ideas from his childhood in Colombia.
My brothers and I would go on the elevator up and down, and every time the door of the elevator opened, it was like this wonder of, this is a new place, completely different scene, and then they will pick you up again and they put you somewhere else.
Students were invited to experience the world they created.
Oh! Every single little thing has a little message behind it.
So let's talk about your decision to come to MTSU. How did you find us, and how did you pick the major you were in? You mentioned a friend of a cousin, or a cousin of a friend?
Yeah, Emily West. We've known that family for the longest time, and she's at News Channel 5 now. She is. She came to school here, and she was in the journalism program, graduated with a journalism degree. So I called and I talked to her, and she really gave me pointers and told me all about the program at MTSU. And I met with Dr. Pitts, who is the director of the School of Journalism and Strategic Media, and he convinced me. He really told me about all about the program and all of our different opportunities that we have in our location. Proximity to Nashville is absolutely incredible. Just the connections that he has and you have and the people in the program have and all of our professors, so that really convinced me.
And you're going to be part of the Maymester, and you're taking one of my favorite courses that I don't teach, but Leon does. Talk about that great experience you're going to have.
So we're going to go and basically live in Winchester, Tennessee for a little while and work with the local paper there, really get involved headfirst into the field and get some quality experience. Yeah, I'm really excited.
It's an amazing opportunity because you actually do go to that community and become a part of that community's newspaper and produce content for those platforms. It's really cool. Well, Kaylee, I'm so proud of you. Thanks for your great report from Middle Tennessee News and joining us on Out of the Blue.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
And we'll be right back.
True Blue.
As a member of this diverse community,
I am a valuable contributor
to its progress and success.
I am engaged in the life of this community.
I'm a recipient
and a giver.
I am a listener and a speaker.
I am honest in word and deed.
I'm committed to reason, not violence.
I am a learner. Now
and forever.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
True Blue.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Do you want more out of your college experience? At Middle Tennessee State University, that's exactly what you get. More majors, more opportunities, more guaranteed scholarships, up to $20,000 over 4 years. MTSU, Tennessee's University of Opportunities.
Welcome back to Out of the Blue. I'm Andrew Ottman. Professor Song Choi has attracted national media attention for his work in creating the Digital Agriculture Center, the first entity of its kind in Tennessee. The center puts data science, satellite and drone imagery, and other high-tech tools in the hands of area farmers to help them better monitor, assess, and manage their operations. Professor Choi, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you for having me, Andrew.
I'm really fascinated by the research that you're conducting. It's gotten a lot of attention for the university and a lot of positive press. Let's talk a little bit about the Middle Tennessee Digital Agricultural Center, started in 2021. Explain it to the layman. What is it about?
So the whole idea about Digital Agricultural Center, we want to establish one of the first education center covering the concepts related with precision farming, data analytics, and how the modern technology could be used in agricultural production. It kind of originates from the idea that I had back to the old days when I was in grad school. I took a lot of classes, not only agriculture related, but also with data science and data analytics and computer sciences. So almost instantaneously, I realized there's a huge demand in the industrial level that need people who has the skills, who can handle data, but meanwhile understand the general context of how agricultural production is being handled, worldwide, not only in the United States. And then I started working for MTSU. I realized, well, there's a huge need related to education related with digital concepts. Because a lot of students enter into the program, they have no idea how the standardized way of handling data in modern agricultural production per se. So then I realized, wow, this is a great opportunity if we can establish a program that we can educate not only the students, but also the non-formal educators in the southern eastern region to come over here, explore how technology has been helping agricultural decision making, and that's where we brought up the idea and applied for the grants, and we got it.
You got it indeed, $750,000 from the United States Department of Agriculture, and creating this center. You described on your website digital and geospatial technology to monitor and assess, manage soil, climatic, and genetic resources. Explain that to me. Tell me what's involved in that.
Yeah, they sound really sophisticated. So nowadays, everything is digitalized. So farmers are no longer the common farmer that we see back to the old days. They become data managers. So they, depending on what kind of a product they use, they probably already have the access for the satellite data imagery. Or depending on who they are working with, they might have people coming over and fly the drones to capture this imagery data. Could be within the growing season or maybe before the growing season. So they have a lot of data they have to manage, right, to understand what's going on in the field. That really have to educate them how you can understand those data better, use that for your decision-making purposes. So things has changed a lot over the past several decades. We are really morphing from back to the old days. We call it Norman Rockwell painting kind of farm, right? Old barns and the hay bales. But the farmer nowadays has to be more data savvy to understand how to utilize that to help their farming operation.
You were featured, there was a report on RFD TV, the Agricultural News Network, that talked about your collaboration with one of your colleagues, Dr. Kevin Corns. Talk about how you're using that unmanned aerial system technology to fulfill some of these needs.
Absolutely, and unmanned aerial systems commonly we call them drones. Are really a wonderful platform for gathering data. Because there are certain drawbacks of getting imagery data based on satellite images, because there are certain cycles, so they don't go through the same spot on the Earth every day, right? So maybe some like 10 days, 14 days, 16 days. But for drones, you can fly them anytime you want, as long as you can operate it. And also another advantage of drones, you can fly them much closer, much lower the altitude compared with the airplane. So you can get imagery offering much higher resolution. So I started reaching out with Dr. Kevin Corns about 3 years ago, and I pictured this idea, hey, we can get more data related with plant growth. We actually call it the phenotyping, to understand how plant growing, all the physical characteristics of how plant looks like in the field. And that really can help with decision making and to find maybe weeds outbreak and pathogen outbreak at a very early stage and apply the right input at that stage. So that kind of a work out beautifully with the aerospace program. And the other reason is not everyone can fly the drone, especially when you are doing research or doing outreach programs. You need a license, right? You need to have the aeronautic knowledge behind it. Not just a toy. It's a tool for conducting research purposes. We need to have the expertise in a team. So that's how I reach out to to the aerospace department and find Dr. Kevin Corns, and we work on it together.
The first digital agricultural center in Tennessee, so we're very proud of that. You're offering 2 signature events, both this summer, one happening in the month of May. Talk about the Digital Agricultural Academy.
Yeah, so you mentioned about the 2 signature programs. So we already talk a lot about what digital farming is and how to use technology to helping farmers. The taking on that, we want to shape up the young kids or the young generation's minds about how this thing could be evolved. So that's the program about Digital Agricultural Summer Camp, to bring all high schoolers on campus. They spend 3 weeks here on campus. The program starts on June 1st. So they will come over here, explore the real world opportunity to work with all researchers on campus. You mentioned about Dr. Kevin Corns. They're going to be working with Dr. Corns on designing their own drone from scratch, from a 3D printer, and then they're going to take their own drone to the field and fly them, operating them, and gathering the data, and will come back and they will be working with experts like me, or either soil scientists like Dr. Sam Haruna. So we're going to help them decipher what's going on behind it. Now, the Academy is kind of a concurrent program geared towards the non-formal educators.
Okay.
Because we are all formal educators in a context of university system, right? Students come in, they get a diploma, getting credits, but there's a big group of educators out there. We classify them as non-formal educators. So for example, if you are parents, you are teaching your child on the holidays, or you could be classified as a non-formal educator. Right? Or you are scout leaders, Boy Scout leaders, right? Or 4-H agent. So you are helping with kids in a non-formal fashion. So I believe those educators play a very important role in shaping the young generation's minds in the future. So that's why we want to bring them on board, so to showcase what kind of a project is available for them to design to help with their pedagogy approach. So when they are teaching their students.
You've got a new website up that talks about this. Tell people how to find it.
Okay, it's very easy. You can go to Google, just do a search MTSU Digital Agriculture, or you can just type in www.mtsu.edu/digital-agriculture.
And tell me what kind of features I could find there.
You will find all information about the general introduction of what digital agriculture is. And depending on your role on this project, if you're a student, if you're an informal educator, I put a lot of Q&As regarding what is project for me? What do I get out of it? Right, and where could I apply? What will be the deadline? And all this detailed information will be posted out there. And they also have application links. When I click on that, you can actually start putting your names and putting your date of birth. All this different information in there will tell you what criteria we'll be using for making the selection. Last but not least, I also include a resources tab on there, so which I post a lot of good examples of how data analytics, how digital world has been shaping agricultural production. Those are good resources not only for students but also for the educators.
Well, Professor, it's great to hear this Digital Agriculture Center finally taking shape. It's historic, first in Tennessee, and I appreciate all your hard work to make it happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrew.
And that does wrap up this edition of Out of the Blue. A reminder, you can find content about the university 24 hours a day by going to our website, mtsunews.com. You can also find features and stories on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Broadcasting from the Center for Educational Media, I'm Andrew Oppmann. Stay safe, stay on course, and remain true blue.